Hello, it's Book Quote Wednesday and the word is world. Today I am reading from my pirate adventure novel HMS Barabbas, first in the further adventures of Jim Hawkins. Jim has escaped the pirates and you would think he could very easily have nothing more to do with them, but he knows he has unfinished business both practically and morally, and for this he needs to conscript a reluctant ally. In my dream movie casting, Dr. Williquette is played by Colin Baker, which is one reason I titled this chapter The Two Doctors. Hurry there! A snarling Dr. Alexander Williquette waved the empty decanter through the wreaths of tobacco smoke that obscured the saloon. The servants were overworked, but they were well trained to keep an eye out for the large man with a well-honed appetite. One of them caught his eye and nodded. "Can't you see there's a man here trying to die?" he added in a mumble, but only to the empty decanter. The doctor felt the chair creak beneath him as he slumped morosely into it. Perhaps he didn't need the drink to kill himself, he thought. Perhaps the chair would just collapse and he would break his neck. It would be quick and have more dignity than the gradual piecemeal way he planned to exit this world. Sometimes he reckoned that the only reason he hadn't already taken the easy way out was that it required more courage than he possessed. It required no courage at all to stifle his pride and his conscience and report for his duties on HMS Barabbas, where as long as the captain still had confidence in his surgical skills, he was the safest man on board. Dear God, what had he become? And so he was not in the best mood when a thin, middle-aged gentleman sat down opposite him. "Do you mind, sir?" he snapped. "This table is taken." The man regarded him with the same cool, detached gaze as Dr. Williquette's long-ago medical tutor had regarded a surgical specimen. "One glance tells me you drink far too much, sir. The blood vessels in your nose are purple, your eyes are almost as red as your face, you are half again the weight appropriate to a man your age, you will be dead within a year." "A year, sir?" Dr. Williquette leaned forward and deliberately breathed fumes into the face of the impudent stranger. "You flatter me. I had calculated a minimum of 18 months, but I will bow to your superior judgment. Perhaps with due diligence, hard work, and a lack of interruption, I can bring it down even further." "There are other ways to confront your troubles, Dr. Williquette." "Oh, so you know me, do you, sir? I confess I have forgotten ever having had the pleasure, which is unusual because I am sure I would remember granting permission to a complete stranger to act as my conscience, personal physician, and generally interfering busybody." The stranger smiled, very slightly, in a way that did not reach his eyes. It reminded Dr. Williquette all too much of Malachi Hands. "Besides, if you must know," he continued, "I drink in memory of a departed friend, an innocent young man who fell among robbers and deserved far better than he received." And then the chair next to the stranger was pulled back and the ghost of Jim Hawkins sat down. He had his hat pulled down low, but close up there was no mistaking. The servant set a fresh decanter down in front of Dr. Williquette. He continued to stare at the ghost with his mouth open, and did not even react when the stranger gently moved the port out of his reach. "Bring coffee for 3, the stranger instructed the servant, and turned his attention back to the doctor. "Jim!" Dr. Williquette's eyes began to blur, and he quickly blinked away tears before they could be seen. No one liked a Magdalen drunk, and he had no intention of becoming one. "Dear boy, and I thought you were dead." "The barrel saved us." Jim's smile was the shy, hesitant one that he had learned to recognize. "We both made it to shore, Richard and I. Thank you." "Then I am delighted the boy is safe too. But, Jim, to put your head into the lion's den again, what madness is this? Why in God's name would you ever return to Plymouth?" It was clear from the language of their bodies that Jim deferred to the older man, whoever he was, so Williquette fixed him with a scowl and made a successful grab for the decanter, too fast for the man to intercept. "And who are you, sir, to put young Hawkins in such danger? Have you no sense, no responsibility?" The man had only smiled when Dr. Williquette referred to him as an interfering busybody, but this jab made him flush. Dr. David Livesey, at your service. Livesey. With an effort, Dr. Williquette remembered where he had heard the name before. He poured himself a fresh glass with the ease of long practice, without looking down at it and without spilling a drop. I owe you a debt of thanks, sir. You provided me with a fine surgeon's assistant. If Jim now uses the sense with which the good Lord blessed him at birth to go to London, finish his studies, mix with honest men, and never put to sea again so long as he lives, he will enjoy a long, happy, and successful career. I will never be happy so long as I know Captain Hans is at liberty, Jim said. Dr. Williquette shrugged. It's a fallen world, Jim. A woman may be loving and loyal to a man, but still die in childbirth. A man may work hard and honestly all his life, yet die in poverty, while rogues prosper without lifting a finger. I pay it as much attention as I pay the fact that I'll get wet if I walk in the rain. It is a fallen world. No one can change it. We tackle one problem at a time, Dr. Livesey said calmly, and if we die before we have tackled them all, then we know we did our best. The matter of Captain Hans requires considerably less application than most of the world's ills. With a bit of forethought, it should be most dealable with. Then I suggest you forethink very hard, sir, because while my revered master still has power of life and death over my mother, and while Jim's name continues to appear on a certain document that I presume is still stored in the captain's cabin, neither of our plans will come to any useful fruition. Jim leaned forward, hands clasped on the table in front of him. We, he indicated Dr. Livesey and himself, will buy a cottage for your mother. It will be her own. She will never have to fear eviction from Captain Hans or any other landlord. Oho! Dr. Williquette barked a disbelieving laugh. Suddenly come into money, have we? Jim forced down a grin. Not suddenly. I came into it a while ago. Oh? Dr. Williquette squinted in immediate suspicion. Well, never mind. I will concede the possibility that you have a few extra pennies put away. But there is still that document. And what do you intend to do about that, hey? And you can find out if you buy HMS Barabbas from any good bookshop or www.benjeeps.com, which of course is where you can buy all my other books too. See you next week.